The night air was heavy with the scent of blooming Dama de Noche. In the small coastal town of San Ildefonso, the villagers whispered that this was when the Encanto roamed, spirits of another realm, drawn to beauty, desire, and weakness of heart. Elena had always laughed off such tales. She was young, 21, her hair black as ink and her skin pale from avoiding the sun. Every evening she walked alone along the mangrove path to fetch water, humming a tune her grandmother used to sing. It was her moment of solitude, until she began to notice the man. He was there one night, standing by the water's edge, too far to see clearly, yet his presence seemed to hum in the air. His clothes shimmered faintly, not like anything woven in the village. She felt no fear, only the strange pull of his gaze. Even though his eyes seemed impossibly dark, the visits became frequent. Sometimes she would feel the brush of his fingertips against her hair when no one else was near. Other times she heard her name carried by the wind, soft as a lover's whisper. One evening he spoke. "You are wasted here, Elena. Come with me, and I will give you all the beauty you deserve." His voice was music, each word tasting of honey and moonlight. She found herself agreeing without thought, as if his will flowed into her veins. The very next night she dreamt of him, but it was no dream. She woke in a place where the air glittered with silver motes, where trees bore fruits of gold, and the sea shimmered like a sheet of crystal. The man stood before her, smiling. "I am Lacan," he said, "and this is my realm." He dressed her in gowns finer than anything she had touched, adorned her hair with pearls that glowed softly in the dark. He told her she would never grow old here, that the tides would never touch her beauty. His hands were warm, his kisses sweet, yet his shadow never touched the ground. Time lost meaning in Lacan's realm. Days blurred into nights, and the joy of his affection drowned out every memory of home. Almost. Sometimes she dreamt of her mother's voice, or the sound of the rooster calling at dawn. When she awoke, those sounds were gone, replaced with the endless stillness of the spirit world. One day, she asked, "Will I see my family again?" Lacan's smile faltered. "The moment you returned, you would wither. Your beauty, our love, would fade." His hand stroked her cheek. Why return to a world that gave you nothing but hardship? Her heart ached, torn between the warmth of his touch and the hollow in her soul. Months passed, or years. It was impossible to tell. But one night, as she wandered the garden, she heard a faint sound, a woman's voice, crying her name. It was her mother. Elena followed the sound until she reached a veil of mist. Through it she saw the village, but everything was wrong. Her mother was older, her hair fully gray, her back bent. A candle burned in front of a framed photograph, Elena's own face, smiling from years ago. Villagers gathered, praying. The truth slammed into her chest. She had been gone for decades in the human world. To them, she was dead. She turned to Lacan, who had silently followed. "You lied to me," she whispered. "I gave you everything," he replied. "I loved you when your world would have forgotten you." "But I was taken," she said, her voice shaking. "My life, my family." His expression softened, but there was no remorse in his eyes. "They are shadows, Elena. You belong to me now. Your soul is bound here, and so is your heart." She wept, but he held her close, kissing away the tears. His embrace was warm, intoxicating, and she felt her will slipping, as it always did when he touched her. The last thing she saw before the mist closed was her mother's face, weeping into her hands. Then the world of gold and silver swallowed her again. To this day, the villagers say that on nights when the Dama de Noche blooms, you can hear a woman's voice singing by the mangroves. Some say she is happy. Others say she is calling for help. But the old ones warn, if you hear her song, never follow. because he came from another world and he might choose you next.